It is your responsibility as a partner in the relationship to be like, yo, something's not working, and I really think that we need to fix this. I'm starting to have a wandering eye, I know that sounds easier said than done, but this is just what I would like in my relationship, because maybe just maybe you can mend the relationship, and it'll help you be less susceptible to temptation.
Yes.
What
That's
do you
just
think?
one side of it.
You over here quiet.
Yeah.
What? I think a couple things. I think whenever I hear the statement, I as a man, I think I want to hear, well, how does someone identify their manhood, right?
Yeah.
And when I hear that, I hear, you hear a lot of men say, like, I'm a man of my word. But it seems like that doesn't carry over to their relationship.
Exactly.
You know, like, being a man of your word means that, like, I stand on what I say. Like, you can trust that I'm going to be reliable. You can trust that I'm not going to shake if I'm pressed. And I feel like, well, if a woman is pressing up against you, you should shake the other way if you know that you have committed
Yes, of course.
to a situation.
That's it.
And I also think just in general, there's just a lot of lying to ourselves that's going on that seems to be happening. And I just feel like when we lie to ourselves, we don't protect our hearts, we preserve our egos.
Yes, absolutely.
And
Say that again, yes.
that's the doozy.
I think also in the black community, I want to, I don't speak for the black community, but I do think that a lot of black men, they really don't know how to have true, faithful relationships. They think because they have money, because they have power, that they can treat women any kind of way.
Lonnie Love is saying things.
And that is something we need to work on. We need to work on that. That
Together.
money and power does not mean that you can just do whatever
I think
you want to
sadly
do.
in so many cultures that is the whole
Yes.
machismo thing, like that goes across the board, but I'm gonna say
it's not across the board, because what is happening is that we are still dealing with the point of slavery, and we are descendants of slavery, and because our families were broken up, we still do not have an idea of how to have together families, because our families were broken up.
Yes,
and until we really
from that perspective, I absolutely
And not
get
just
it.
slavery, welfare reform in the 60s and like this is a long.
Longer
So when you
conversation.
hear, because I want to say, when you hear Joe Budden say, he worked so hard, it's not a bad thing. He's saying, Kevin don't want to be poor no more. Okay? So he's like, let me go out here and make this money, because I don't want to go back to where I was in Philly. So what he was saying was he was using it as an excuse, and we modernize it and say, but that's not, but you got to understand the whole psychology behind it. That's the reason why he's working so hard, because he don't want to go back to where he came from, because then he'll lose the power.
And then working so hard is affecting his relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it is a
conundrum.
Correct.
Well, but
I also want to say, I don't know what
You
race.
have to learn that balance, though, and if your relationship and your marriage is really important to you, but not only that, respect, the respect for your partner.
It's your word,
But
dude.
that's
It's
the thing.
Your word.
But that's
It's
the
your
thing.
word.
Sometimes it isn't taught to you that is important.
Yes,
Does
got
that
it.
make sense?
That's what I'm
Instead,
saying.
we put so much importance on
work.
success and money and
Yes.
work, and we no longer have the focus and the importance on family and marriage and love.
That's
and
what really matters.
But what Joe was saying,
what
what
really
he
matters.
said after that statement was he works so much that he barely gets time at home. Sometimes you get home for only a few minutes. This is Joe's word.
So he has needs.
So to me, I was hearing he got to get it somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well.
That's the problem. The problem is the word is not kept. If you're going to be a man and you're going to sign contracts and be a man and keep your word at your job and keep your word in front of the people, you got to keep your word to your
Sign the
wife,
marriage
and you got to keep your
contract.
word at home to your kids. So, and my problem, I want to say really quick too, there's also a problem with any man who watched this, and there's a brotherhood. Besides the manhood, there's a brotherhood that's like, I see what you're saying.
It's a lifestyle.
You got to be careful of that. That same guy that thinks locker room talk is okay, that same guy that thinks it's okay to smack a girl on the butt, like those are the guys that we got to check. It could be your son, it could be your uncle. Say something, dude. You can't just let that ride.